Hello there, my name is Retro. The first time seeing my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, who's up in computer random, and today we're going to talk about the first special of the Owl House. Now there's two questions. The first question is, and this special is good. Yes, they have to rank it. It's basically 9 out of 10 for a reason. I'll talk about that later. And the second question, the most important question, if their Spanish is good, because for some reason they actually talking a lot of Spanish. As a Latino, if you not notice, I do understand Spanish. You have to say I am jealous because their Spanish better than mine. It's the effect being American and Mexican. Your first language is English, second language is Spanish. Depends which Latino you talk to. And yes, I'm surprised how much Spanish this really is. Besides that, I've been talking about 5 points about this special. The first point is Lu's mom. It's sort of rare you actually see a sort of a isekai focus on the parents. Let's face it, that's sort of rare. I don't know, only 3 shows that actually do that. Actually give a chance to see the point of view of the parent will be Digimon, Horizon Zero, and the original isekai. If you know which isekai I'm talking about, you know what I mean. This is what I mean, it's sort of rare. Usually they just give it the dark point of view of the parent, how the abusive, not understanding. This is the reason they went away to the isekai world. An American point of view, I love that they point that there is multiple points of view, but especially a parent, because Lu's mom does care. In fact, at the very beginning, you know she cares, but you don't know she understands her daughter is sort of position. She doesn't know how to be creative, or at least creative could be vying to others or vying to herself. Especially how the society judged Lucy's mom's little daughter. Kind of judge her, because let's face it, they judge Lu so badly because once more she's a kid, especially if you're weird. If he's too weird, people will push you away, and that is interesting because Lu's mom knows she's weird. She likes it, she's weird because she is her daughter. She loves who she is. It's that sort of pressure she got to the parents, the teacher, the principal, that she is not a mentally stable person. The fact they were sort of wrong about Luz is just you had to put her in a direction to use her, basically her imagination, her artistic point of view. And Luz's mom knew this, but at the same time, she kind of was afraid or pushed of that point of view that she needs to fix her daughter. In the very end, she sort of feel guilty that she could do better, maybe not listening to the other parents or teachers. In a way, you understand, because once again, if you raise a child or have a sort of a babysitter job, take care of your child, you're always sort of worried to that kid, wondering if you did it the right way. And you love it, they point that very well, how much care and devotion she really is in understanding, especially her husband passed away, or Luz's father passed away, and the reason why she so loved magic is because of her father, how much he loved magic. She sort of obsessed with it because if she feels connected. You understand the point of view of Luz's mom and Luz's obsession, that sort of, I miss my father, and that's so relatable. Let's face it, some genres or some fandoms like Star Wars, Star Trek, anime, sometimes you join in because of your parents, their love. You want to understand them, why they care, and maybe a small chance you care with them. And that's so precious. The fact many other shows or reboots of other shows forget about that, the reason why people care that much, sometimes a little bit too much, but at the same time you kind of get it if you're a fan. Now the second character I want to talk about is Luz herself. That sort of guilt that she helped the main villain to do his evil deeds. She ran away because she was not understand, even that her mom was willing to understand her, and that she wasn't scared enough not to open to her, especially how everybody looks at her all the time. And you just get the decision she makes. She's trying to be better, trying to lift up the expectations of her mother, even that her mother doesn't really have much expectation. She just wants her to be happy, and this is the reason they sort of miscommunicate, especially how society keep pushing away. But I love it, she admit she was wrong, and her family and friends sort of understand, because they can easily fall into that cliche of how could you, I'm so shocked. But at the same time, that's so cliche, and sometimes you don't really need it because how the villain is so well known. Luckily they did not need to do that, because they did it the fastest way route, that yeah, everybody knew the main villain was a dirtbag. We get it, we believe you. I was so happy. He also sort of kind of well executed, because let's face it, that ending needed more time. Not a lot, I guess maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes. I kind of wish they extended a little bit more time, but what they got, it was well executed. Now a third character I want to focus on is basically Hunter. That sort of guilt, the sort of I'm a clone, if the people or my friends will accept me. But at the same time, you're not in the magic anymore, so nobody really cares in the human world. But the only people he actually cares is his friends, and they know what he is. Well, telling them he's afraid of the judgment, the pushback. You understand his sort of confusion and guilt. He doesn't know what to do and tell Luz not to tell them, because she knows what he is. But at the same time, I think the guy is just sort of kind of mentally broken. He needs our guidance. At the same time, I kind of wish this was still a full season, because I could see Luz's mom basically talking to him, making him more comfortable to realize the situation, that was not his fault. He basically was a clone, but more kind of definition. He's sort of a bastard that was born because his father or brother made him. In other words, that sort of definition, nobody wants him because he was born. But at the same time, it's sort of a psychological kind of thing about Hunter. And you understand, he can easily become emo. But I love it how the show or the showrunners are that smart. They don't need to waste time. Let's skip that. Yeah, I love it. They went to the main villain, Genos. Sorry, my mind is sort of kind of off, but you know when I'm talking about the main villain, that he eliminated Hunter, trying to control his body. Even that Hunter did not realize the ghoul he touched was Bellows, and he's basically taking over his body by coincidence. But love it doesn't feel like force. Believe me, there are some shows force the coincidence too much, but at the same time it makes sense, because nobody knows what happened to Bellows. Like, he's still alive, he's still a ghoul. In fact, he was sort of this monster in the town that everybody thinks is sort of a dead deer in a way, and the little hints here and there that he's still there, and the kids are not sure, especially Hunter, how he's tweeting out because he knows that he's upset. He's scared of him because all the gaslighting that Bellows did to him. You felt it. You loved how the whole friends and Luz's mom understand him. They want to take care of him. That sort of love they needed. Oh, it was so good. Even that was so good that Hunter finally stand up to Bellows and breaking free. Especially that sort of metaphor that he was sort of possessing him, willing to stop him, to draw himself to get Bellows off of him. That's like top kiss, like top cheer. I'm sorry, I'm kind of messing up here, but anyway, you get it. Now the fourth thing I want to talk about is Luz's friends. I enjoyed them. They sort of kind of understanding the human world, the everything around them, but I never liked the fish out of water kind of take. Usually I'm sort of tired of that, because it's sort of making fun of them, like they don't know human culture. It's almost like boomer humor, but I love it in the show that sort of realized maybe you shouldn't go that direction. Let's go a little different on the fish in the world. That realizing is that all the things they're doing is respect around the people, but the people, the one who look at them, sort of weird. And that's sort of the comedy. Yeah, I love about that, because usually every time they do fish out of water type of jokes, it's almost like, ah ha ha, look at them, they're dumb, they don't understand. And that is sort of kind of of cringy, even that I hate that word, and that's the best way to describe it. But I love it. They were really smart how to do that, especially the intro. How much dedication to show them how much they've been here, how much knowledge, understanding the human world they actually have. It was sort of unique because, let's face it, they only have 45 minutes long, and they knew that. They did not waste a single time. They give all the characters they needed to develop, to understand, and execute it the best way ever. Now, I think not talk about the final character, Bellows himself. He is a slime ball. He's just so manipulative, gaslighter, evil, completely insane, and I love it how well executed he really is. He is the definition of that villain you just despise, but you know it. But I love that he is basically the best villain for at least the last couple of years, because it's sort of hard to make and villain still very interesting, and also keep making him the big villain, because that's hard. Because sometimes the main villain, he's always there, some shape or form or plan. Even the main villain is dead, sometimes it's sort of hard to connect that to the main villain, to a point that's sort of tiring. Think of it sort of like Jackie Chan Adventures, like the evil dragon, how Jackie Chan had to stop him, but each season always connected to him. But let's face it, every single season they struggle, and this series, I think they're smart enough how to do it while feeling struggling or forcing it in. That's why I enjoy this so much. They just realize they cannot spend a single time. And you realize how the show kind of tells you his backstory in a way, but I love it. They serve their interpretation, because nobody knows what happened to Bellows and his own brother. Only half the story, and the other half, Luz and her friends, know the rest. But I love it that sort of confirmed information how Bellows sort of killed his own brother. In a way, that's your own interpretation, but once again, everything was connected, everything was cleared, especially with Luz's mom willing to give up the human world to go with her daughter to succeed her mission. Even that Luz wanted to give it up just to protect her friends and family, but you know Luz's mom understands, and she willing to give up all for her, because the very end she was doing the same to her, and that's just so precious, sweet, and honest. And that's hard, especially a show is basically more linked to the gay community, because let's face it, a lot of gay cartoons kind of fail. I like to say good 80%. I know I'm not gonna mention one because I know I'm gonna be harassed if I do, but you know which one, or at least pick your most hated one. But only two shows I feel they nailed it is Owl House and Dead End. The only two cartoons I feel they wasn't pressured. They were know what they're doing. They're here to understand. It's not to focus about the gayness. Focus about the characters, because the very end you're here for the characters. The gayness is sort of second. You focus too much, you lose your audience, even specifically the gay people. So yeah, I'm glad they were smart. I love about everything, even the action scene. They're very little, but at the same time just so well executed. It sort of blows your mind. It's so, I love it so much. Of course, once again, I did wish it was extended at least 5 or 10 minutes, because at the end it was landed perfectly, but I wish they gave it like 3 to 5 minutes long to just to roughen about the edges, feels more natural. But once again, that's my take. I still love it. And you have to rank it, I said it before, 9 out of 10. The reason I give it a 9 is because of the end. Nothing really much else to say, just one question: what do you love, hate about this series? And I have to say one thing, this could be basically the cartoon of the year, or at least a top 5. I got nothing else to say, just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.